Hello, I'm Alicia Carthel, and this is Color Chronicles. Today we're on the campus of Murray State University at the Bullying Conference. This conference has been sponsored by the Human Rights Commission for the City of Murray, Kentucky. And in just a few moments we'll be speaking with some of the commission members and also some of their guests at this important event.
Well, my wife and I have a company. It's called Bully Free Systems, and we just formed also a nonprofit company called Bully Free Initiatives. But we help all organizations, schools, businesses, and communities to be bully free.
Okay, so what are you presenting at the conference here today?
I'm presenting an overview of our program, the Bully Free program, and it's currently being used in 13 different countries.
Okay.
And we're located here in Murray, Kentucky.
Okay.
And I'll be presenting an overview of that, but also trying to inform them a little bit about the nature of bullying and why it is so critical that we make our homes, our neighborhoods, and our schools and our communities bully free. So I'll talk about the rationale for prevention as well. Help them understand the pain that's caused by this.
Okay. And what about some strategies that you're going to give people to learn how to deal with bullying, either in the classroom or with their children at home? Right.
Well, first of all, if they would just go to our website, www.bullyfree.com, there's a lot of free resources there. Included there are tips and strategies for parents and for students as well. But our program, we have administrative strategies that have to be implemented throughout the whole school. We have strategies for the teachers to create a classroom where everybody has a sense of belonging and acceptance. And then we have strategies also that are targeted toward individuals who are bullied. How do you help them help themselves? How do you help them heal emotionally? How do you help them to develop positive self-esteem and confidence so they can actually stand up to some of the bullying themselves? And then we have strategies for bullies as well. So you're here at the conference. Are you talking with any children who are here that have been bullied? Are you talking to parents or? Well, actually, I'm surprised because we have about 100 people here today, and there are a lot of very young children here as well, and a lot of young people and adults as well. So I'll be addressing all of them, I suppose. Okay, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for attending this conference. Thank you very much.
I have two different roles here at Murray State. I work out of academic affairs doing undergraduate research, and then in student affairs I do LGBT programming. But on the commission for the City of Murray, the Human Rights Commission, I serve as chair. I've served in that role a little over a year now. And right now our biggest undertaking is the Murray Bully Free Community Education Campaign. It's a little bit of a long mouthful there, but basically over the last 3 months we've been working to raise the awareness of bullying in our community. We know it exists. We were very upfront about that and said that we weren't going to try to hide from it, that we know it happens in our schools, we know it happens in workplaces, and so how can we as a community respond to that? It was something we started talking about last fall. Several of the commission members said they wanted to look at it through a lens of human rights. And there's some examples, there's not that many, but there's a few examples of municipal human rights commissions doing things like this. But really in Kentucky we're the first. So talk about the importance of having a conference on bullying. So today's conference is one step of this campaign. We've had public forums, we've had various meetings with school leadership, we've shown films on it. And so the next thing was to actually have sort of like a symposium or a conference where we invited the region. We've got people here today from the Henderson County School Board and their City Human Rights Commission to Paducah to Hopkinsville here joining us, and so we can sort of share what we are doing with other cities and they can model it. So talk about some of the strategies, techniques that some of the presenters are discussing with maybe some of the students who are here, some of the faculties and parents. Right now a lot of what we're talking about today is school focused, although we've been careful with our campaign to say that's not the only bullying that happens, but it's the logical one that we all jump to talk about. So So, like, one example that I'll give that comes up a lot that we've heard in our campaign and they're talking about today is school bus bullying. And we know that bus drivers have a really hard job. You know, they've got multiple roles to fulfill, but one of the most frequent areas of bullying in our community and in others is on the school bus. So Dr. Bean with Bully Free Systems, that's actually an area of specialty for him. He offers a training specific to school bus drivers. And so that's one of the things he's showcasing today.
So Dr. Monk, tell me a little bit about what you do here at Murray State and what you do for the commission.
Okay, at Murray State, I am the interim director of the social work program, and we have a program at 4 regional campuses and the main campus at Murray. And so I teach for all of those students. And I am also on the Human Rights Commission. And I served under S.G. Carthel, who was the director when I was invited to join, and now I serve under Jody Kofer. And Councilwoman Linda Cherry is the brainchild or the idea person behind our focus in this community on bullying. And so she proposed that we have a sort of region-wide bullying symposium hosted by the Murray Human Rights Commission. But of course with the focus on the city of Murray and then on the focus on the other areas in the region. Because Murray State provides a lot of leadership, and the city of Murray is a city that is so well respected region-wide. So what we are doing today is we are hosting a bullying symposium. And we have been fortunate enough to have a speaker from California who is the executive director of Not in Our Towns, which is a national organization, who was delighted to come to Murray because we have the reputation for being so progressive, and we have such a reputation for being the friendliest community. And she has come not only to be one of our lead speakers, but also to take ideas back to her own organization. And I will tell you that the people that I've introduced her to in Murray have blown her away with their friendliness and with their acceptance and with their just plain niceness.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, because we've been to various places in Murray, and she's met with a number of groups of students as well outside of the conference. She also presented yesterday at our CLU conference.
Well, Dr. Monk, you presented today. What did you present on?
I presented yesterday and Thursday. On Thursday morning, I presented on the effects of poverty and school performance with some integration of the work of Ruby Payne and how to use it effectively with children and adults. And then yesterday, my presentation complemented Becki Cohn-Vargas' presentation. She talked about the importance of being an ally to the anti-bullying movement. And what I talked about was how to be an ally and the psychological stages someone goes through in becoming an ally. And today, mercifully, I just sit back and knit. And those of you who know me know that I'm not joking when I say that. Today we have Dr. Cohn-Vargas speaking, and she's speaking as I'm being interviewed. And then Alan Bean, who is Bully Free Communities based in Murray, Kentucky, with national reputation, and Karen McQuiston from the Kentucky School Safety Organization, which is also based at Murray, who is a statewide and region-wide expert in cyberbullying. And then we also are fortunate enough to have our regent, Susan Guess, who has been a local advocate in Paducah against bullying, who has brought in money from the community to establish a foundation which works on these issues. And her daughter Morgan Guess, who will be here to speak later this afternoon. And Morgan has brought Kids for Kindness to Paducah, which is an organization that is not only anti-bullying, it is a proactive group that says nice things about people instead of saying nasty things, you go online and you find something nice to say. And then you also do that face to face. And she is the recipient of the Governor's Award for Student Volunteer of the Year, which she'll be getting in June. Her mama gets to go with her this time to the governor's mansion to receive her award.
No, that's wonderful.
So, and then at 4 o'clock, we're going to have a showing of the video bullying. And then at several points, we are going to have the conference attendees working to provide ideas about what communities can do and about legislation that we need that would further the anti-bullying effort.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. I came all the way from California, and I came to present to the Murray State College community and the local Murray community, because this community is really interested in bullying. And my work, I work for the project Not in Our Town, which is a national, actually international project that works against bullying, hate, and intolerance. But what's special about us is that we not only deal with the problem, we deal with the solution. We're about communities that speak up and stand up, and we've been doing this since our first PBS film came on TV in 1995. And we work with communities all across the country, and actually we're about to go to Budapest, Hungary, because they have a problem with hate against the Roma people, but the community wants to take a stand, and that's what we like to share.
So can you share some of the solutions and techniques that you sort of can equip parents and students with and faculty with as they deal with this bullying problem?
Yes, I think we have some core principles that are really important. One thing is it's very important to deal with both bullying and intolerance, because many of the people that are targeted by bullying are students who are different in some way, either racially, they don't fit gender stereotypes, they're called gay, kids who are in special education, and people who have different racial groups, and Muslim students get bullied a lot. They get called terrorists. So the first thing is deal with both those issues together. Bring together people for building bridges of understanding as a proactive measure, and then come together if any group gets bullied or teased, come together to make a difference. The other thing we believe in is that people in the community and youth need to lead the way in the solutions. They need to identify the problems and find the solutions.
Okay, and so why do you think conferences like these are important?
The conferences are important for a number of reasons. They build awareness and they bring the community together. And it's so exciting here. You have your mayor, you have members of city council, you have members of school boards from other communities, so it's a whole regional conference. It's really an honor for me to be here with you.
I teach in the Department of History. I'm a tenured faculty member. I'm the coordinator of religious studies. I also have a cross appointment where I teach a class with government law and international affairs. I am the assessment coordinator for the department, the library liaison, and I'm a member of the executive committee, and I also host a show on WKMS 91.3 FM called Cafe Jazz.
Okay, and you're on the Human Rights Commission for the City of Murray, and you're here at the conference on bullying.
Yes.
Discuss that.
I've been on the Human Rights Commission since September 2011. I was appointed by Mayor Wells, and one of the things that he and our chair, Jody Kofer, want to do is explore the issue of bullying, starting primarily with an ordinance that we are trying to get through the City Council. It was a resolution that we adopted a few months ago. We've been doing some follow-up on that with some conferences and some town halls and so forth. And this latest conference is just the latest effort at public education on the subject of bullying.
Okay, so talk about the importance of this conference.
This is very, very important because bullying is an epidemic. It's an epidemic of historic and just terrible proportions. It's impacting our educational system. It impacts the workplace, because schoolyard bullies eventually become workplace bullies, and that those workplace bullies impact morale, productivity, and it is also psychologically damaging.
And speak a little bit about cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying happens more often than not, especially with the explosion of different social networking sites. There's a lot of anonymity to it. Reputations can be totally destroyed by it. people can be damaged forever, and this is also a major problem, and it's a crime.
And what about some of the strategies that you're hearing from the presenters, that you're hearing that the parents can use, students can use, faculty can use?
One of the things that Dr. Alan Bean has been working on is the Bully-Free Systems program, and he's been promoting that. He's worked alongside us really for the better part of a year as we've explored this subject. That's very helpful. A lot of teachers and parents and principals and superintendents can take that curriculum and put it into their overall class strategy to combat bullying. Yesterday, I was a presenter at a conference on campus where I focused in on the bullying of African American male intellectuals in schools and in life. And one of the things that I said that is we have to understand that bullying is not just physical. I mean, just getting a black eye coming home from school does not constitute bullying. It means you were in a fight. But it can mean physical, but it's also emotional, where you have ostracism, exclusion, marginalization, belittling, sabotage. And that happens in the workplace too.
It was an idea that we had from our Human Rights Commission, which we are very strong as far as human rights are concerned in Murray, Kentucky. As you well know, it's the most friendly city, so we figured that we should be friendly to everybody who is in town. Also, with Jody Kofer as our president, he kind of had the idea of let's go ahead and have bullying as one of our main focuses. We have passed a resolution for the City Council. We're looking at some resolutions, and in fact, since I've talked to you earlier today, we're going to have Henderson probably come down and join us in May, and we're going to share some ideas that work for Henderson, Kentucky, a city of about 27,000, and we have about 18,000 here. So I think there's a lot of similarities that we can help each other with.
So talk about the importance of today's conference.
Well, it's important on a lot of different angles because one is at Murray State's campus. We have a lot of teachers here and students from Murray State. Plus we have some middle school children, high school, teachers from different communities, as I mentioned, some elected officials from other towns. It's always important to have them come and share ideas. I think the bonding on our common situations helps, and just to create a group that we can talk with about these problems is very important.
And talk about some of the strategies, techniques that you're hearing from some of the presenters that faculty can use, students can use, parents can use.
One thing that they talked about in an earlier presentation is don't be a bystander, be an upstander. If you see something that you don't like, instead of just kind of, I'm not going to get involved in that, you should say, you know, I don't like what you have said about that. Let's do something about that. And I think that's really important, that we have a very active group. And I know that even when we had the resolution, it passed 12-0 with enthusiasm from all our council members, which was very, very positive move.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Color Chronicles, and we'll see you next time.